Hello all, I am Shavni Datta, Faculty of Computer Science Department of the Bhavanipur Education Society College, Kolkata, India. Today I am going to discuss machine learning approaches for solving emergent problems during COVID-19. So without wasting much time, we can start our presentation. COVID-19 stands for Coronavirus Disease 2019. It is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. The outbreak of COVID-19 was first documented in Wuhan, China in December 2019. It was declared as public health emergency of international concern on January 30, 2020. World Health Organization WHO on March 11, 2020 declared COVID-19 as pandemic. The coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic is the defining global health crisis of our time. But the pandemic is much more than a health crisis. It is also creating an socio-economic crisis. Coronaviruses are zoonotic in nature. That means they can be transmitted between animals and people. Common signs of infection include respiratory symptoms, fever, cough, shortness of breath, and breathing troubles. In more severe cases, infection can cause pneumonia, severe acute respiratory syndrome, kidney failure, and even death. Some preventive measures can be taken to fight against this disease. That is, put cloth face mask, wash your hands regularly, cover your face and nose during coughing, avoid care facilities until critical situation arises, practice social distancing by incorporating work from home culture if possible. Use virus killing disinfect for cleaning. Avoid leaving house when you are sick and maintain healthy habits. From this section, I am going to provide some technical details for this session. The upcoming slides will explain the necessary details for implementing automated tools for handling current pandemic situation. Artificial intelligence, that is AI, can simulate human intelligence in machines. Machines are programmed to think like humans and mimic their action. Ideal characteristics of artificial intelligence is ability to rationalize, ability to take actions that have best chance of achieving a specific goal. There are two more concepts related to AI, that is machine learning and deep learning. Now I will discuss the relationships among these concepts. As mentioned earlier, AI enables computer to mimic human behavior. Now machine learning is considered to be a subset of AI that gives computer ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Deep learning is again a subset of machine learning which makes the computation of multilayer neural network feasible. Now I am going to give some details regarding machine learning. Machine learning is an art that makes computer or machines to perform efficiently without being explicitly programmed. ML focuses on a set of algorithms which are applied on the dataset in order to infer predictions. It provides knowledge base for accompanying informed decision-making process. Now, ML can be grouped into different categories based on their learning paradigms. The first one is known as supervised learning. In this case, the input data is called as training data and has a known label or result such as spam or not spam, or a stock price at a time. A model is prepared through a training process in which it is required to make predictions and is corrected when those predictions are wrong. The training process continues until the model achieves a desired level of accuracy on the training data. Example problems include classification and regression. The second one is known as unsupervised learning. The input data is not labeled and does not have any known result. A model is prepared by deducing structures present in the data. These may be used to extract general rules. It may be through a mathematical process to systematically reduce the redundancy, or it may be to organize the data by similarity. Example problems are clustering, dimensionality reduction, and association rule learning. The third one is known as semi-supervised learning. The input data here is a mixture of labeled as well as unlabeled example. There is a desired prediction problem, but the model must learn from the structures to organize the data as well as to make the predictions. Another one is known as reinforcement learning that allows the machines and software agents to automatically determine the ideal behavior within the specific context for maximizing its performance. Now I am moving to what? That is deep learning. Deep learning, in short DL, has proven its superiority on solving complex problems. DL often demonstrates the involvement of neural network in order to accompany complex problem-solving approach. Just like neurons present in human brain, large number of processing elements, that is nodes, present in the neural network for acquiring the best problem-solving tactic. As you can see in the picture, ML ensures feature engineering task to be performed as a separate task. Use of DL techniques is beneficial because it does not include the manual feature engineering task to be performed due to its self-adaptive structure. Now, DL uses neural network for handling complex problem-solving approach. The deep neural networks can be RNN or CNN, that is recurrent neural network or convolutional neural network. Upcoming section will be giving a brief discussion related to this class of deep neural networks. Recurrent neural networks or RNNs are a type of artificial neural network that add additional weights to the network that creates cycles in the network graph in an effort to maintain an internal state. Basically, RNN have a memory that remembers all the information about what it has been calculated. It allows previous outputs to be used as inputs for the current step. We have another type of RNN also known as bidirectional RNN, or in short BRNN, that are designed to access input sequences whose starts and ends are known in advance. Because RNN can take information from the previous context. Hence, the further improvements can be made using bidirectional RNN. The biRNN can handle two sources of information. While considering both the past and future context of each sequence element into justification, one RNN can process the sequence from start to end, and the other can process the information from backward to end to start. LSTM and GRU are variants of RNN. LSTM stands for long short-term memory, whereas GRU stands for gated recurrent unit. LSTM neural network is a kind of RNN that implements context-based prediction which is not considered in traditional RNN. GRU is again quite similar to LSTM, but it receives lesser number of parameters than that of LSTM. Convolutional neural network (CNN) is an improvement over traditional neural network. A CNN can consist of an input layer, an output layer, as well as multiple hidden layers. Central to the convolutional neural network is the convolutional layer that gives the network its name. This layer performs an operation which is known as convolutional. A convolution is known to be as a linear operation that involves the multiplication of a set of weights with the input, much like a traditional neural network. Now, before training any neural network, some pre-stage fine-tuning of hyperparameters is necessary to perform. The hyperparameter contains number of layers, number of nodes, learning rate, epoch size, batch size, and dropout rate. These values should be adjusted to help the network to learn successfully. Dropout technique is employed for the case of eliminating overfitting problem in the neural networks. During training, it randomly detaches units along with the incoming and outgoing connection from the neural network. Epoch and batch size are hyperparameters which are also used in neural network training. Epoch size is defined to be the number of passes to complete through training dataset. The entire dataset is passed forward and backward through the neural network exactly one time within each epoch. While passing the entire dataset into the algorithm, it must be partitioned into fixed size batches. Batch size keep track of the number of processed instances before the model updates its internal parameters. Next, activation function. Choosing activation function is wisely important because it is one of the necessary tasks which can maximize the training procedure. Use of activation function allows neural networks to learn nonlinear relationship among the data to produce meaningful output signal. Popular activation functions include sigmoid, ReLU, tanh, etc. While stacking neural network layers into a single framework, employing an optimizer is again necessary. Adam is a popular optimizer that is computationally efficient with lower memory requirement, and it is quite easy to implement. We have other hyperparameters such as number of layers, number of nodes, learning rate, which also need to be adjusted for achieving the best result. For fighting against COVID-19 pandemic, the following issues are taken into consideration. The first issue is to monitor transmission dynamics, that is, how the disease is spreading. The target of the study is to predict the spreading pattern beforehand so that an enormous economic loss, community spread, amount of social detachment of people may be ensured, and also accurate decision can be taken accordingly. The second issue is to detect the occurrence of COVID-19 disease by analyzing former habits as well as history of other diseases. This portion elaborates the designing of automated tool for monitoring transmission dynamics. The objective of this study determines if it is feasible to use machine learning approach to evaluate how much the prediction results are close to original data related to confirmed, negative, released, and death cases of COVID-19. For this purpose, a verification method is proposed in this paper that uses the concept of deep neural network. For predicting the cases of confirmed, negative, released, and deceased cases in COVID-19, a dataset from Kaggle is being used. And this contains the cases from 20th January 2020 to 12th March 2020. These are used for training and testing of three models. In this case, three models are implemented and applied on the dataset for verifying the given prediction results with respect to the available dataset. These three models are LSTM-based model, GRU-based model, and combined LSTM-GRU model. What is the research workflow? At first, data are pre-processed by eliminating missing values as well as irrelevant values. Then, the transforming operations are performed so that it can be given as input to the deep learning models. After implementing these three models, the best RNN model can be identified. For identifying the best RNN model, the prediction results of the cases are considered. The efficiency of these results are to be evaluated with respect to accuracy. As you can see in this picture, the combined LSTM-GRU based RNN model provides a comparatively better results in terms of prediction of confirmed, released, negative, death cases of the data. Our paper has presented a novel method that could recheck occurred cases of COVID-19 automatically. The data-driven RNN-based model is capable of providing automated tool for confirming, estimating the current position of this pandemic, assessing the severity, and assisting government and health workers to act for good decision-making policy. As mentioned earlier, the combined LSTM-GRU model provides the best predictive result. All the cases that is confirmed, death, released, negative are depicted here in terms of real as well as prediction result. Our next issue is analyzing of habits with the history of diseases for COVID-19 disease classification task. A patient will visit physicians when he or she feels ill. This illness is not for COVID-19, but it is a general tendency of human being to visit doctor. Probably it cannot be controlled by general drug. When a patient comes to a doctor, the doctor examines him or her after knowing his or her problem. The physician will always ask the patient about some questions related to her daily life. For example, if a young male patient comes to a doctor with the symptom of fever and cough, the first question the doctor asks him, that is whether he has a habit of smoking or not. The doctor asks him whether this type of symptom appeared to him previously or not. If the answers of both of these questions are yes, then the first one is habit, and the second one is that he may be suffering some serious disease or disease due to the weather. The aim of this paper is to consider the habit of the patient as well as he has been affected by previously such critical diseases or not. This information is used to build a model that will predict whether there is any possibility of being affected by COVID-19 or not. This research work contributes to tackle the pandemic situation occurred by coronavirus infectious disease 2019. Outbreak of this disease happens based on numerous factors such as past health records and habits of the patients. Health records include diabetes tendency, cardiovascular disease existence, pregnancy, asthma, hypertension, pneumonia, chronic renal disease may contribute to this disease occurrence. Past lifestyles such as tobacco consumption here can also be analyzed. A deep learning based framework is investigated to verify the relationship between past health records and the habits of the patient as well as COVID-19 occurrence. A stacked GRU based, that is gated neural network based unit or model is proposed in this case that identifies whether a patient can be infected by disease or not. Impact of tobacco consumption on COVID-19. Tobacco smoking is one of the known risk factor for any respiratory infections and can increase the severity of respiratory diseases. The use of tobacco is detrimental to immune system and it is more vulnerable to infectious disease. A review of studies by public health experts convened by WHO on 29 April found that smokers are more likely to develop severe disease with COVID-19 as compared to non-smokers. Impact of alcohol consumption and COVID-19. Alcohol consumption is likely to increase health risk if a person made it a habit. It will not destroy the virus, it will infect mouth and throat. A couple of people even think that it will give the protection against COVID-19. Practically, it is true that section of persons are affected by COVID-19 who are drinking alcohol due to the stress in their profession. Alcohol has a bad effect on immune system and it will not stimulate immunity and virus resistance. Incubation period. The incubation period is described as the time from the infection to illness onset. The United States CDC has estimated that the symptoms of COVID-19 will usually develop within 2 to 4 days after exposure. Diabetes and COVID-19. Diabetes is one of the leading causes of morbidity and mortality throughout the world. A study from Wuhan reported that around 10% of the patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus, that is T2DM, and COVID-19 suffered at least one episode of hypoglycemia. One Chinese meta-analysis including 1527 number of patients showed that the most prevalent cardiovascular metabolic comorbidities with COVID-19 were hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, followed by diabetes. Now, in our study, we have collected data from COVID-19 precondition dataset from Kaggle. This dataset contains numerous attributes and 56602 number of records. Numerous attributes were collected and these are used as feature selection purpose. Sex, patient type, that is inpatient or outpatient, intube, age, ICU, whether the patient has contact with other COVID patients or not, pregnancy, diabetes, all these values are considered over here. All these values are listed along with their consisting values. Mainly, the general information that has impact on the disease are listed over here. Now, this slide gives you some health history records along with format habit listings. The consistent values are also given here, such as whether the patient has asthma or not, whether the patient has hypertension or not, whether there is any other type of disease, cardiovascular disease, especially obesity problem is there or not, kidney disease is there or not, tobacco consumption is there or not. All these are considered over here. Finally, we have the dependent variable over here, which is known as COVID result, which is denoted as positive, negative, and awaiting results. Our target is to predict whether the patient will be affected by this COVID or not. That is, whether the patient has chance to be positive or negative or not. Okay? So, in this case, we have implemented one stacked bidirectional GRU model to be applied for processing patient data, and it identifies likelihood of COVID-19 infection. This model is adjusted by fine-tuning its hyperparameters for maximizing the prediction performance. The predictive model proposed in this paper stacks multiple GRU layers under a single platform. These GRU layers are implemented as bidirectional RNN. As mentioned earlier, bidirectional RNN can process information in both the directions. These layers are followed by dropout layers. After 4 bidirectional GRU layers, 4 dropout layers, 4 more fully connected layers are also stacked into this model. The proposed stacked bidirectional GRU model is again compared with traditional ML classifiers such as decision tree and SVM. This shows that the efficiency of implemented model which is superior to specified model. Healthcare industry requires real-time data collection and processing of medical data. The main point of this industry lies in the problem of data handling in real-time prediction and quick attention. A DL-based framework is basically exemplified in this case for identifying COVID-19 occurrence based on influential parameters from former habits as well as health records. This study details the feasibility of using GRU, a gated recurrent neural network, for the purpose of COVID-19 disease classification. This automated tool provides comparable accuracy to the most widely used SVM DT classifier models. The enhanced accuracy of GRU can be beneficial for healthcare industry. The proposed model reaches an highest accuracy of 65.36%. Finally, I would like to give my sincere thanks for all to provide me an opportunity to showcase my research work. And I would like to give my sincere thanks to the internet, Google, and all the necessary resources that I have used in these slides. Thanks a lot.